Hey guys, welcome to the Still Moving podcast with Dom and Toby. We're both two good friends living our freelance photography and filmmaking careers, and we want to take some time out to share the highs and lows and the behind the scenes of what that looks like day to day. Hope you enjoy.
Great.
All right, I just need...
Mate.
Oh.
So I do a little click and then we then they're matched.
Oh, sure.
What's up, bro?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in my bedroom today rather than by my desk in a dingy garage. I felt the natural daylight was a little bit more appealing.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
it is. Also,
it is.
It makes me feel less bad about my awful backdrop.
What, your home?
My awful flat.
In the middle of Bath, the most beautiful city in the UK.
You just looked quite professional last week, and
Did I?
I think you did. Yeah. I mean, I didn't. No one commented that, but I comment that myself. I think.
You internally, at our board meetings, commented that.
Yeah, at our last conference that we had.
At the board meeting. Oh, that's a nice little microphone arm you got there, bro. It's a bit of an upgrade from last week.
Oh yeah. A really good friend of mine actually got it for me for my birthday, which was yesterday. It was you actually. You got me this. So.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Mate, thank you.
I did get it for you because I'm a great friend.
It was fantastic. I picked out the box, and on the box there's like a picture of like what looks like some stock image picture of a woman, and some stock photo of headphones that don't actually sit on her head properly. And as I was opening it, I was like, "What on earth is this that he's got me?" And I was delighted.
It's a Photoshop bodge job. That's exactly what it is.
It was bad. It was bad. I'll tell you
fantastic.
that. Tobes, what's been going on since we last spoke?
Oh well, it's been a full. Wait, no, I guess like the first podcast we did 2 in one session, so that was 10 days ago. So yeah, it's been a good 10 days.
I've had some
lockdown.
I've had some bad feedback about that. I have to say.
You had some bad feedback, really.
Luke Bano, he didn't like.
Really?
He felt cheated. He said so. I'm glad we're in different clothes and in different locations. That's all I can say.
Fantastic. We've swapped. I'm now holding the microphone as well, which is excellent. But yeah, mate, it's been a good 10 days. Pitched for some new work. Lost 2 pitches one day after the other, which is never enjoyable and always feels like a punch to the gut. So I spent half of Thursday wallowing a little bit, and then I was like, right, need to get it together. This is just how it is. You know what? Like, I've lost pitches many times in the past, and obviously won some. It's the same for everyone, but getting back up is so hard. Like, I find that like really difficult, especially when you've put lots of time and you become invested in a brief, and you're like, I'm pumped. I would really like to shoot that, but you're always up against 2 to 4 other people because that's just the way it's done.
Do you know why do you know why these didn't go through?
I do. And it was purely down to the client's style that they wanted to go down. So it's always through an agency though. So there's the agency and then there's the agency's client. So the agency are putting forward options that they think would be good. And then, at the end of the day, it's the client who calls the shots really. So just gutting both times. Sorry. But there you go. It is what it is. But tomorrow's a new day. Monday's a new day. Monday.
It's Sunday today, isn't it? Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah, it is Sunday. How was your week, mate? How's your last 10 days been? Happy birthday for yesterday.
Oh, thanks, mate.
How old are you now?
I've got older since we last spoke. 24.
Excellent.
24.
24. Come on.
I'll tell you what, it's been a great week. I found out that I'm the number 2 juice buyer of carrot and orange juice in Sainsbury's Bath, Green Park Station.
That is brilliant. Did they tell you formally? Did you get a certificate?
Yeah. They come to your door and try and it's. What? Yeah, I don't know. Sainsbury's, the Nectar app has started to do like this, like how Spotify did that like roundup of your 2020 or 2020.
No, it's Nectar doing a roundup.
Nectar round it up, and it came up saying we're the number 2 buyer of the innocent carrot and orange juice. So if if number one buyer is out there, hit us up. I want to know who you are because I didn't even realise we bought a lot of it. To be fair,
Mate, you need to update your Instagram bio.
yeah. I think I get the verified tick because of that. I think
DOP England, number 2 juice buyer at Sainsbury's Green Park station.
also there's 2 Sainsbury's in Bath, so it's not even that impressive, to be honest.
Do you know what, mate? I got a notification from Monzo because Sophia and I bank with Monzo, and they're like, "Here's your 2020 in roundup." I was like, "Oh no, I don't want to look at
I
this."
didn't even know they did that.
Because it'll break down everything you've spent and where you've like spent most card transactions.
Oh.
And it was horrible.
Where was it?
McDonald's came in at a strong third.
No.
I was like, that's not good.
Oh, no.
I think I went to McDonald's like 30 times last year. That's insane. 30 times. Anyway, I wasn't impressed with that. A lot of money at Tesco.
That's less than once a week, though.
It is less than once a week. Yeah.
Is that all right? I think that's all right.
Over a year, I feel like 30 is an acceptable figure, considering the amount of shoots that you go on, and it's a quick fix.
Yeah.
You know.
But
yeah.
You're limited on the M4 home. There's not even a McDonald's on the M4 home, I don't think, is there? It's Burger King.
It's not as Burger King. It's absolutely savage. It's not like the M5, Quality Street up the M5. You've got a Leon at the Birmingham services. Or near the Birmingham services.
Yeah, you do. And you've got Gloucester services.
That is a game changer. Oh, mate, the Gloucester services.
Right.
You just stop at the Gloucester services whether you need to go for a wee or not, don't you? Really, You're going in for a sausage roll and a drink.
Sausage, 100% the sausage roll. I'm so glad you said that.
100% the sausage roll.
Oh yeah.
Or those honey glazed sausages they have there.
Yeah. What, the little calf, like the little cafe
Yeah, the
bit.
calf.
Yeah.
Calf for snobs. It's really nice.
Oh, it's great.
All overpriced, but it is wonderful. Maybe. And my wife also gets built on from the farm shop every single time because it's the best built on that she has found out there.
I have heard
She's a beef jerky kind of girl.
I think the last time and the only time I've ever had that food that you mentioned there was from your wife whilst we were at Gloucester Services.
Well, there you go. Why were you with my wife at Gloucester Services, dude? What?
You were there too, don't worry. You were there.
Okay, that's cool. But you've had a good week, mate. It's been okay.
Honestly, mate, it's been great. I mean, what can you do in lockdown at the moment apart from sit at home? Been watching a lot of MasterChef.
You're watching a lot of MasterChef, aren't you?
Yeah.
Bit of Greg Terode. Oh no, that's John Terode. Greg, what's this guy's second
John
name?
Terode and Greg Wallace.
Oh, Wally.
It's
Greg Wallace. He's the guy that whenever he reviews a pudding, he's like, I could put my face in that.
He is. He loves puddings. Yeah.
He loves it, mate.
The thing is with MasterChef is like the amount of times they taste their food while they're eating it. And me and Martha are sat there, right, and we're just like, you're shouting at the TV because come on, just what are you doing? And I had this thought, I was like, the only time I ever taste my food when I'm cooking is to see if my pasta's cooked.
Right.
Like, who really tastes their food while they're cooking it?
I mean, to be fair, I do when I make meatballs. Just give that little taste towards the end where you're like, does it need a bit of this and a bit of that?
Oh, you see, I've never done that.
Yeah, but I'm not a very good cook, so.
Oh, you are?
No, actually, no, I am a good cook. I'm a good cook with a recipe.
No, you're a very good cook, I think.
If I've got a formula. I mean, my wife's Italian, so I'm screwed because she's always going to be the better cook. But there you go.
And
little flex that my wife's Italian. What up?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a little flex, yeah. I mean,
there's a little flex. Little flex that I've won.
They finished the episode of MasterChef with an Ed Sheeran song, and I thought Ed Sheeran's disappeared.
You thought of me?
Well, he's disappeared for a bit, hasn't he? And
yeah, but he has explained it. He's accounted for his disappearance.
Oh no, why? What is it?
Well, he's making new music, but he said he's taken time off because he said I need to live life so I can write more music.
Oh, you see, because I'm glad it's not a negative thing. Because I was about to say I'm glad he's
just had a baby.
Disappeared because I just what?
Him and his wife just had a baby.
Oh well, congratulations to Ed Sheeran if you're listening.
Ed on the podcast, big up.
I think Ed will be one of the 20 who have listened to the last podcast. That's for sure.
Oh no, hold on though, hold up. We've had a really good response to the podcast.
Okay. Are we going to flex that on our own podcast?
We're not flexing. We are coming to it in an angle of gratitude.
Yeah,
I think.
No, that's true.
We've had much unexpected listenership. since we began.
Yeah.
I mean, I think on the first one, in the first day, I think we had best part of 100 listeners just on Spotify. So we were pretty blown over by that.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Which was wonderful. So thanks for listening. General consensus from people is they really enjoyed it and they quite enjoyed us having a bit of a laugh.
Which brings us on to Tobes. How many people, like we must have had hundreds of responses to you put out an Instagram story last week saying we were going to chat about money or we're thinking about chatting about money. Let's get some of those responses up. Come on.
Come on, bro. We've got to start with humble beginnings, okay? I'll give context. I basically put out on Instagram, I was like, hey, everyone. So it's always a bit vulnerable when you film yourself on Instagram. I think that's quite vulnerable.
I think you suit it.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Oh.
And, you know, I said, look, we're doing a podcast next week. We're looking at talking about money. Anyone got any questions? I was like, oh, this could be funny. Dom was like, might be a bit premature to do stuff like that. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. But if we get none, then it'll be funny. Like, we got one response. Joe Paul, if you're listening, mate, shout out to you. I've sent you a text because I lost your response.
Are you kidding me? We've lost the one response we had.
Wait, hold up. Let me have a quick look through. Let me have a little quick look through my pictures because I think I might have taken a screenshot of it. But I might be totally wrong and I might not have. Let's just go up real quick. Okay, here we go.
At least we got one.
I mean,
or
it's better than nothing. I didn't take a screenshot. It's very sad.
Here's the other alternative. I can't
no
believe that.
About money.
Joe actually, yeah, right. But also, Joe actually bothered to message in. He's the only person who messaged in, and you've lost it. And we're not going to answer the question or talk about what he said.
Joe, I have sent you a text, mate. So if you're listening to this, which will be a week ago, yeah, sorry about that, mate. My bad organizational skills. I think I was feeling optimistic, like, oh, well, surely one or two other people will write in and then I can save the responses. But I was humbled by 51,500 people that one person got back to the request to talk about money. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. This will be the times to look back on and laugh.
I take it as a good sign that no one's struggling with money. So
yeah, must be it. Must be just us.
That must have to be it. We're the only people, surely.
Yeah, I think we should move on, really. But no, we were going to talk about a little bit about it, weren't we? Simply because for those that don't know, Dom and I have owned a wedding visuals business since 2015. Which will be kind of shutting down next year. But we've had many a good chat on our weddings that we've shot together. And a lot of the time we talk a lot kind of about personal finance and money, you know, just stuff that we've got wrong in the past. And, you know, we kind of bounce back and forth a bit, don't we? And I felt like we both got quite a similar attitude to life and spending and saving, and kind of got similarities in our journeys. But yeah, man, I'm trying to figure out what we should share of that would be of quality content.
Let's start with how much debt are you in?
Let's just get it all out on the table right now. Let's just start with figures. Let's really have really bad boundaries on a global podcast, which 100 people listen to, all from the UK.
No, not true.
Actually, hold up. We have become international. Stuart Bailey in Brazil, who's stranded in Brazil but is British. Hello, brother. I hope you're listening.
No, let me honestly, let me get the analytics up.
Oh, we're getting the analytics up.
77% of listeners are from the UK. 5% are from the US.
Come on.
3% are from Spain.
Oh.
2%.
Hola.
When we're saying percent, this is literally 2% is 2 listeners, right? Or less than a listener.
I mean, it could be.
It's New Zealand. And 1% of listeners, there's one person who's in Canada right now.
Wow. Okay. Hey, Canada. That might be Kyle Jaster. If I'm right.
What? It goes on. Another 1% in Mexico.
Oh, come on. Buenos dias.
1% in Hong Kong. 1% in Denmark, and 1% in Oman. And we've had less than 1%. I don't know how you could have less than 1% in Germany. So,
wow. That's your dad?
It's not my dad.
Can we talk for a moment about what Joshua Smith got you for your birthday?
Yeah.
Go on. Take us through.
Well, it's going to be sad if people don't know who this person is, but they can look it up once they hear about this. But there's a comedian called Alistair Green. Look him up. He is hilarious.
On Twitter.
Twitter, like Instagram. Is he actually like a comedian? I don't know, because I've only discovered him through Instagram.
I have no idea. He's a very funny guy, though.
I mean, if you're out there and you like the office humor or just dry British humor, he is fantastic. Yeah. And so
some people won't get it. I think it'll be like some will just hate it.
Oh yeah. I mean, Martha hates it. She only laughed because he was saying my name in this video. So Josh,
you're giving it away.
I don't know if you've heard of the. Oh yes. Rewind. Cameo is this app you can basically pay to have celebrities. Just you basically can get them to do like birthday messages or whatever, and they just sit. I guess celebrities literally just sit on their phone and like earn like a tenner at a time to like say something like happy birthday. I think like most of it would be like Love Island, right? Like they'd be like, happy birthday, Jack. It's so great to see you.
You say that though. Have you seen the channel Jackmate?
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Is he doing it? Is he?
And well, he did one like setting up kind of pranking Love Island stars, and some of their agents were like charging like $2,000 for a shout out, 15-second shout out on Instagram. Because obviously some of them have got like millions of followers.
Wow. Well, I mean,
anyway,
I hope Josh didn't spend that much on a 2-minute video from Alistair Green.
Happy birthday, Dom.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, essentially, he said my name in one of his little jokes. He
didn't say your name. He went off on a full 2-minute run. It was about you.
Do you know what? It was weird. Josh showed me, and he was like, "Bro, all I said to him was his name's Dom. He's a filmmaker." And his wife is Martha. They're expecting a baby, and it's like a 2-minute extravaganza. There's essentially this joke between me and our friends where it's not funny. Like basically, there's no point saying any of this because you won't find it funny. But like we say,
I'll find it funny.
We say, "I'm not your dad." I don't know why.
I'm not your dad.
There you go.
I'm not your dad. Where am I?
And Alistair Green, without prompting, goes off on a tangent saying that he's not my dad. Anyway,
mate, I think we got to leave a link in the show notes.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, I'll get it online. I'll get you the deets. God.
I'm gonna make a little note on my notes to say, add Alistair to show notes.
All right, because you have to write that note because we're not gonna listen back to this. This is rubbish. I wouldn't even listen. I'm not gonna listen back to this. So.
Do you know what though? Because on episode 2, you were saying to me, "Oh, I think we should maybe re-record it," and I was like, "Yeah, maybe." And I drove home from a shoot last week, and I listened back start to finish to episode 2, and this sounds horridly vain, but I really enjoyed our podcast.
Don't say it.
I enjoyed it. Whether that's me saying I enjoyed listening to myself, it gets a bit awkward, but I did enjoy listening to what we were talking about, and I thought there was more value than we initially thought there could be in it. And from people's responses over this weekend, episode 2, the topic of jealousy, comparison has been very well received, and something quite clearly that everyone struggles with. Like, you know, it's very real, and I think people appreciated just an open dialogue, which is effectively what we want to do with this podcast. I also realize I speak very quickly, so I'm trying very intentionally to speak slower and pronounce my words really well.
There's a huge problem with having listened to our own stuff because now I'm acutely aware of not saying "yeah, man." I say "yeah, man" every second sentence. Oh,
do you know what? My dad-in-law sent me a text. He was like, "Here's a challenge. Count how many times Dom says 'like' in episode 2.
Savage.
Oh, Papa Jenkins, thank you, mate. Appreciate you.
Well,
that was funny.
I would be outraged, but he gave us a big shout out on Facebook, and that's probably where we're getting all those international viewers from. So.
I mean, he did. I mean, Steve Jenkins, thank you, mate. Top Facebook fan. We haven't even made a Facebook page yet. We've made no pages.
No pages. We're a pageless podcast.
Pageless podcast is the new thing. But mate, I think why don't we just have a little chat? I think I said to Dom, I thought we should chat about taxes, which obviously is an extraordinarily dry subject, which isn't very interesting or very luring to want to listen to this. But I think as freelancers, chatting about taxes more in the perspective of preparation for them could actually be useful, maybe. Because it's a place which I've got wrong over my 7 years of practice. And I feel like I'm just getting a grip on how to prepare properly for my tax return. Because I feel like at the end of every year around November, December, I'm like acutely aware that 31st of January is coming up and I'm like, okay, here we go. And, you know, on my business accounts, I've got a separate account for my taxes to go in. But somehow I've got it wrong every year. And, you know, I think it's important to make a total disclaimer that neither Dom and I, or, you know, we're not accountants. So we're just going to have a chat about this, but please don't, you know, take it as official solicited financial advice and then sue us when life doesn't work for you. But what do you think, bro? Do you want to add anything in at this point?
At this point, I'd like to add in to please don't take any advice from us.
We're going to talk about what we failed in, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, but it's yeah. The thing is this year, what kind of spot this conversation massively is actually this year. Well, never start your year doing a tax return. That's what I've learned this year. Because I started this year doing a tax return.
2nd of January.
And I straight away rang Toby. Or I think actually I texted you and you rang me back. Because I was just shocked at. Essentially, I hadn't pre-planned or taken note of what I was earning and all this nonsense. It's not nonsense. That's probably my problem. And then started panicking, thinking like, man, I don't have the money to pay this bill. And I think that was like a reality hit where I was like, this is like, you know, you're earning money as a freelance. And again, this is stuff, you don't get taught this in school, right? Like this is stuff you have to figure out.
I wish you did, because it's such a good skill to learn.
So you're just like, yeah, I'm earning money. It's cool. I'm putting some money aside, whatever. And then suddenly the tax bill comes and you're like, oh snap, like this is actually real. And I haven't done it properly.
I think that right there is what I think would be cool to talk about. Don't you think, bro?
I think
yeah, because I think every freelancer at some point has had that moment or will have that moment. Because, you know, I can appreciate as well that there's many types of personalities and preparation is approached very differently by different kinds of people. So to some, this will seem absurd that we didn't keep certain tracks of our taxes or how much we may owe in January.
The thing is, I just didn't issue any invoices. I just ordered it cash in hand. And what's the problem with
that? Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah,
not true.
Yeah, not true. But yeah, I mean, I think as a rule of thumb, oh my gosh, I've learned over the years that ultimately, if you're a freelancer as a sole trader in the UK, I think putting aside 30% of everything that you earn per job into a separate account is probably a good approach. Yeah. I spent the first couple of years, because in the UK, if you're a sole trader or a freelancer, that basically means you do your own, your self-assessment of your work and you pay taxes based on what you declare. And you get an allowance, personal allowance, generally of £12,500, I think, in the UK. So I would earn up to that and then start preparing for tax. But something that I think would have helped is if I just started from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because if you got 20% tax, which is the lower end bracket, it goes up at a certain point. I think like 36,000 of income. It goes up to 40%, which is when you should become a company or consider becoming a company. But yeah, I just didn't. 20% tax, 9% national insurance preparations, which is the one that always gets you. And then I always got caught out by the payment on account.
Oh.
So like what they ask you to pay up front for the following year, that was what always got me. I was like, oh snap, I haven't prepared another 50% of my tax return, which is why I think you should just from the get-go put aside 30%. Because then you can't really go wrong.
And that's so true actually, because in your first year trading ever as a freelance, you earn whatever you earn, and then the on account of next year paying ahead of next year or whatever that silly thing is that we have to do.
Silly.
Silly. You get screwed by that, because if you're right, if you don't have the surplus cash to just pay that one-off sum ahead of time, which who does? Let's be honest, like who does, unless you're, like you said, putting aside the money before you hit the threshold. Like it, again, that happened this year for me, and I was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's not a fun place to be.
That's tough, man. I think that's why I called you as well, because I was like, I know exactly how you feel. Like in this moment, it's just not a nice moment to have. And yeah, I think it's taken me personally a good 7 years to get a grip on good preparation. I mean, I recently now trade as a company rather than a sole trader. It works better for what I'm up to, but which is a whole nother sort of learning curve at that point. But I think if I was starting out with 19, I think I would have appreciated this sort of conversation of, hey, like, you know, even if you don't look like you're going to earn a ton of money this year, say you're going to earn £5,000, maybe put aside 30% just in case, you know, you need to pay some sort of bill. And if you don't, you get to the end of the year, you know,
Tax
you've
rebate.
got some extra money you can enjoy, like a rebate.
Yeah.
I think that would have been helpful information. I mean, I've just opened another business account this year, so I can put aside all of my company tax and any personal taxes into that. So it's out of sight, out of mind, because that really helps me.
Yeah.
If I can't see the money, then I'm like, well, I don't have it. So for me, I'm trialing to see whether that helps.
Yeah.
Better money management, I think.
For sure. For sure. There you go. There's one for you, Steve.
For sure.
One of the things I, in hindsight, would have loved to have decided to do is first year of signing up as self-employed freelance. This is it. I'm taking the plunge. You don't have to pay that year's tax bill until the following year, right? Because you're always a year ahead. No, you're always a year behind in terms of what you're paying for your tax bill, right?
Yes.
And so in that year, it just didn't seem important to me. And it just wasn't wise. I just didn't know any better. It didn't seem important to me to put the money aside. I was just like, look, I'm just earning money here. This is cool. I'll figure it out when I get to it. Which now, in terms of the money, now, whatever I earn this year, I'm taking the tax money, like the 30% from. But then I'm using that to pay for the year before, which makes no sense because if I earn less than I did last year, I'm not going to have enough money for the tax. But I've accidentally got myself into this cycle. So I've this year was like literally one of the moments where I was like, oh man, like I really should. I want to be ahead even more, which sadly means having more money in that hidden account that is labeled tax, right? But it puts me it will eventually put me in the advantageous position of like I'm actually one step ahead of it as opposed to right now on the back foot of my own tax bill, which in some gratefulness to COVID will be quite good because of not having worked as much this year. It gives me that little head start, but it's one of those things where like no one really tells you it, and like the advice that
they really don't.
It's so frustrating, and the advice that you do seek and you do get. I mean, personally, I heard people be like, "Yeah, you got to set this money aside and all sort of stuff," but you know, you're young, you're freelance, like you're kind of just doing your own thing, you're figuring it out, and it's it's the same as having a credit card. I'll just see how this works, and I'm just going to spend it. You know, everyone makes the mistakes, and I think it's good to make the mistakes. But one thing I'd so heavily advise is just do it as properly as you know, as best as you know at the time to do it. You should just do it. Because I pleaded ignorant to it for so long, and all it does is bite you in the butt, and then you just
for sure.
That was never your money in the first place, right? So sorry, but you're gonna have to pay
definitely.
it.
I think that's so good, man. Like I totally agree with you. I just think that feeling of reassurance of entering the new year being like, okay, I've been putting money into this account which I can't see, or been putting money into an account. If you're someone that doesn't struggle with like, if you can't see it, you won't spend it, then maybe it's just making a little e-account. But knowing that you've prepared and not kind of having that feeling of dread, I think is just such a good practice for business. And I'm hoping that I've got goals in for this year just to become better at that, to grow in that. And, hopefully, we've managed to get what we need together, which is, I'm feeling very thankful at this point. But, for next year, hoping for good things, good preparation, better management.
I, from this year, Toby's had had an accountant for how long now? Maybe a year? Over a year?
Yeah, I think I switched from being a sole trader to a company in August 2019.
Right.
So yeah, a year and a bit. Year and a half.
Right. So okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So like this was the first year I was like, man, I need to get an accountant or at least have someone by my side who can advise me on the best way to move forward and all sort of stuff.
That isn't me.
That isn't Toby. That isn't basically second-hand accountant through Toby.
Which isn't us having a chat
Just going,
about what we think each other should do.
Yeah, right. Like, oh yeah, you probably should put money aside.
Yeah.
But
actually get solicited advice from a professional.
Yeah, right. There's like this weird fear that I have of like this has always been really safe for me because like I do my own finances. If there's some money that's come out of somewhere, like out of my tax account, I know I can put it back and I know where I'm at with it. But letting someone into that, like an accountant, sorry,
yeah,
it feels really vulnerable, but also like really scary because I don't want her to look at what I've done for the past like 6 years and go, what the heck have you been doing? Do you know what I mean? It's a weird...
Which the reality is they won't.
No, I know, but...
Because I recommend my accountant to you, and my accountant, I think, is one of the best ever. But I've only ever had one, but she's the absolute best.
She's 100% of the accountants you've had, and she's also the best.
Julie, if you're listening, you're a legend.
But no, but it's funny, isn't it? Like, it's kind of that, like, you don't know. And also you don't know what you don't know, right? So, like, for years, I've been doing it the best I have. And I remember speaking to Julie on the phone a couple of weeks ago, and I said, yeah, I've been doing it myself for the 5 years that I've been doing it. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've just been kind of making it up, like just doing what I think is right with it. And she was like, right, okay. And as far as I'm aware, based on having had conversations with other friends who are accountants, I'm doing it accurately, and I'm doing it to the, I'm doing it. I'm I will research what I need to do, but it still doesn't. It's like, how the heck was I ever meant to know how to do it?
Right.
And the HMRC website is like,
it's a bit bland.
It's complicated and it's bland. There's no color in there.
It's a bit complicated and it's a bit bland. No, do you know what? HMRC have actually made such a bigger effort, I think, in reaching out to offer advice. I get so many emails from them now being like,
oh, too many.
No, just general mail outs.
Too many.
Yeah, there's quite a lot, isn't it? I was considering unsubscribing.
Look, I'm not here to have a chat, HMRC. Just cool it.
Cool it, mate. No, it's so good, mate. I think when the time's right for, everyone's journey is different with business and accounting. And I think, being a company offers different benefits, much more in relation to tax. Your company will pay the tax and you can really control your salary as such. So it kind of, for Soph and I, it was much more like, hey, we want to have a fixed salary that we get paid every month, no matter how well the photography does.
Yeah.
We know kind of a figure that we're looking at getting to cover our bills and our living each month. And then, your tax benefits are totally legit. And, you hopefully pay a little less on the old tax man, streamline and make it efficient.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Do you like how I used way too many words there? Because I was scared that people might think I'm tax evading. Which isn't true. I'm not tax evading.
I'll write what I actually think in the podcast notes.
Yeah. Just do a little bit of backstabbing.
It's like, I like hashtag the heck out of it, and it's HMRC is searching for you and they'll find
hashtag evasion.
Hashtag tax evasion.
Have you seen those posters? Actually, no, maybe it might be a few years ago that I saw them, but HMRC ran a whole load of nationwide posters with like this picture, really like spooky picture of like a spy being like, we're watching you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're cracking down on tax evasion. And I was like, oh, flip, if anyone's tax evading, that's enough to scare them. Like, that's intense.
I'm going to Google it now.
Yeah. Anyway, point of what we're trying to say, I think, is just, get good advice, prepare well, don't get caught out, which, we're totally preaching to ourselves because both of us are still so on this journey, but I think it's really valuable to be able to prepare and not worry about it. Have you found the poster?
I found one that's just really creepy. It's someone's eye super close up.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I found it.
That's the one. It is super creepy.
I have to be honest. At first glance, it doesn't really make sense. But I guess ultimate. I guess what they're trying to say is pay your taxes, be a good guy, and live life, laugh, love, have fun.
Yeah, man, and get a business account and separate your accounts out.
I remember
into personal business.
I remember getting my first business account in like my first year, or like not even in my first year. It was like before I was even self-employed, and I was like, yeah, I need a business account. Yeah, haha, look at me. And I mean, like it cost you had to put in a certain amount of money to keep it open for free. I think it was with Lloyd's, and I don't think I even met that. I was like paying for for a business account I never even needed. It was brilliant,
amazing. Because you telling me you've recently got one, right?
Yeah. I tried to be. Monzo's actually fantastic for this. I've got the Monzo business account.
Yeah, we like Monzo.
And then the joint account with the wife, and then your personal account. I think it's great, man. I love having it all in one app.
It's really good, and it's a great service. I think Monzo have really nailed it.
It's so good. I think it's really helped having the separate account. Adds a level of professionalism as well, like putting it on the invoice and all that sort of stuff. And actually, when I was speaking to the accountant, she was saying how being a limited company, one of the benefits is looking more professional, and it's like that actually adds a lot of value.
It is. I think it's so valuable. Even things like having your own email address.
Oh, bro, I only got my own email address the end of last year. You celebrated me.
I celebrated. I was like, finally. But you know what, though, mate? I think it does say something. Like if you're on Instagram or you're on your website, do you know what I mean? And you're trying to be a proper professional freelancer. I think you need a proper email address because I'm like you don't want
to have like dumptoWho@gmail.com. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, who would do that?
When you're young and you like Doctor Who, don't forge your name together with Doctor Who and then make an email address out of it and use it for business. It's not a good idea.
It's not a look. It's not a look.
It is a look. It's a look, but the wrong look.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like little things in business, like email addresses, a proper domain, a business account, things that don't take much administration and ultimately don't cost a lot of money, I think actually just take you up such a big level.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like who you are actually going to reach. If you want to be taken seriously by an agency, have a flipping email. That is what it is.
Oh.
I mean, maybe that's not all true because there are some photographers I follow which are exceptional and way ahead of where I'm at.
They're at AOL.
And they just have their name at gmail.com and it's working for them. So, power to them. But
at AOL.
I think in this day and age when it's so saturated and there's so many photographers, I think you need to do the best you can to stick out as a professional freelancer.
Absolutely. What when I first started, I think my first website was like a Facebook page, or like, and I used to always like link people to my Vimeo account, which was cool. It works. Vimeo's cool.
Vimeo's great,
but
I think Vimeo's a great platform.
My website it's basic. Like it's essentially a glorified Vimeo page for myself.
Your website is much better than it used to be, though.
Right. What do you mean by that? Explain that, please.
Should we go down that road?
Go on, explain that.
No, I don't know. I think you streamlined all your work and you chose your best parts, which you loved the most, that you wanted to get more work in. And you just laid it out really nicely and simple, and it's great. And I think it just functions better than it used to. That's all.
Oh, thanks, babes.
Deal.
Thanks.
You're welcome. A website that I think is really good. Director Solomon Ligtham from New York City. His portfolio website is stunning.
That is with the like gifts as it loads in and stuff.
Whoever his web developer is, great job.
That's a great website.
I got a quote to have my website redone by an agency that I really love in Canada, and I would love to one day do it, but I was kind of acutely aware they're probably going to send me an estimate for about $15,000 to $20,000, and it was very I think it was like $12,000 to have my portfolio website done. And I was like, I think I'll stick with Squarespace.
And then he just tipped into that tax account and did it.
He took it. Exactly.
He learned no lessons.
He didn't have his tax money. Oh, that is such a basic mistake, isn't it? I need some money. I'll just dip into the tax account. That is what screws me over, and that's why I've got a new bank account for tax now, because I can't do that anymore. It's such a bad idea.
Yeah,
don't do that, kids.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Mate, Squarespace though, our sponsor.
Our sponsor, Squarespace, that don't exist. Man, we've plugged them a lot. We should probably stop doing that because we're not actually sponsored by Squarespace.
I think we should keep talking about them so that we do get sponsored.
Squarespace.
Imagine if we get sponsored. That'd be jokes. Do you know what? I don't even want to get sponsored. I'd just like to have a free domain name for a year. That'd be great.
I mean, that would be nice.
That'd be fine.
To be honest, I little flex here, did so many websites for friends in the last 5 years that they added me to the Squarespace Circle Club, which I didn't even know existed.
What?
But I get 20% off websites.
What?
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Dude, that's amazing.
I know. I feel very honoured by Squarespace.
No wonder you're making...
Who needs a sponsor when you've got 20% off?
God, you are your own walking coupon code.
Mate, everybody loves a coupon. Make it cheaper. That's staying in there. That's what's so fun. I sometimes sing when we're looking for a coupon.
Really?
We like belt it. Everybody loves a coupon. Make it cheaper.
Lovely microphone skills moving away from the mic there. That's like Beyonce stuff.
Anyway,
mate,
I hope we're not being awfully boring.
No, do you know what though? Squarespace is another one of those like little like life hacks, isn't it? Like, I mean, if I didn't know any better, I'd think everyone knew about Squarespace now. Like, they're advertised to death on my YouTube.
Yes,
a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Along with just a lot of other stuff that just doesn't appeal to me. I'm never buying your stuff, YouTube. Just go away. The point though with Squarespace is it's like a little cheat because the templates are sick. I remember when I think you made your first website and I didn't use. There's a common theme here. Toby does something and I do it,
or vice versa.
But like, you made your website on Squarespace, or even like maybe some other people did, and I was like, these themes, like I was like on Wix or something, like fighting against Wix to like make something good. But Squarespace, man, like you just chuck up a template, you plug in the font you want, you got some babies crying. It's Soph. She needs you.
Unlock the door. Let me out. Anyway.
But like, you plug in your font, you put in your content, and you are and it looks dope. It's done.
We need to get paid for this.
No,
this is full on plug.
Should we stop until they? I'll tell you what.
Stop.
I'll send them that clip. We'll see if they sponsor us, and if they do, we'll continue this next week.
Do you know what would be actually jokes? We actually got sponsored by Squarespace. That'd be so funny. Anyway, yes, mate, I agree with you. I've always used Squarespace. I think their templates are good. I think as well, though, maybe not so much anymore because they've developed so much since. But before, with Squarespace templates, you had to be quite careful to make it not look like a Squarespace template.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I've always been tried to be conscious of that. I mean, there's no avoiding on the iOS or Android kind of customization for it. You're always going to get that menu right at the top and it comes down and you're like, it's a total giveaway that it's from Squarespace.
Or here's another little hack for you. You can disable if it's a Squarespace website, you can log in by pressing the escape key and then it comes up with the login.
Yeah, and you can also disable
disable that. But it's like, sometimes I go on someone's website, I'm like, this is amazing. And I'll be like, I wonder if it's Squarespace. And I hit escape.
Busted.
Yeah. I got you, bro.
Got you, bro. I know what you're doing. Do you know what another really good one is dunked.com.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
Dunked.com is made... Here we go. It's another endorsement. Dunked is basically
this is
made by...
This is where like a jingle comes in. And it's like...
Bro, you got to add one in.
Blink.
Add one in right now. Dunked.com is a fully customizable website template service made by user interface and user experience designers from the United States of America. They have a selection of templates which you can...
Are you reading something?
No, this is all... I've used Dunk and I think they're great.
You know this.
Like, I really do. I switched to Squarespace because I needed more functionality in the website. I wanted to have a store for when I did prints, but everyone does prints now, so, do prints or make extra pages about whatever. But no, I think they're great. I think if you want a really well-designed website which has really nice user experience, nice transitions, which is simple but classy, I think Dunked are great as well. There's so many good options now. Even Wix have really stepped up their game.
Oh, this sounds like such a big ad.
I know, we should stop. I'm really sorry, everyone. This is actually
but we shouldn't, because this is the sort of stuff where, like, I mean, okay, Squarespace, everyone knows it. But if I was listening to this and I'd never heard of it, I'd be like, I'm Googling this and I'm getting it.
Yeah. I know. Who else should we choose to endorse?
But
Pelly cases? Let's have a moment of Pelly cases.
a minute silence, okay?
Minute silence. Well, they're not dead. They're surely alive.
It's just to honour them, Toby. The thing is, though, with Squarespace is with the email thing, you can just you can create an email through it, which is super easy because I remember you Google how to make your own email address or and you get all these .tk things and all these fake things. But with the Squarespace thing, once you got the domain, you just hook up an email address for a couple of quid extra a month. It's crazy. That's great.
I think it's good. They've become a fully fledged platform working with Google, which was clever of them. And even their design team, they've become a little bit of a Facebook. Squarespace bought the app Unfold, which is a really good Instagram planning app and Instagram story creation app, which is really nice as well.
So that's Squarespace.
They've now Squarespace have bought them. They're really obviously scouting some good creation kind of apps or companies, and I think it's a smart business move. But yeah, man, they're huge, massive company now.
Love that.
Mental. Anyway, I think we need to stop plugging Squarespace.
No, but I like it.
Yeah.
Can I just say one more? Can I just say one more thing on Squarespace?
Go on.
They've started bringing in video on demand stuff, right? So if you're creating a masterclass, because everyone this year is making masterclasses now because that's the way to make money.
Yep.
And you can now host them on Squarespace. And before, you'd be Googling around, where do you host these things? Where you want to basically sell a video, but you don't want to let people download it because if they download it, they've got it and they could just redistribute it and stuff. Squarespace are now supporting that and they're starting to build that side of their company, that's just great.
That's smart, isn't it? Everyone's doing a masterclass now. Who is actually the master?
Oh.
Time for an ad break.
Time for another ad break. Masterclass. You can get your free subscription for 14 days.
Mate, do you know what? I made a mistake last year, genuinely, with Masterclass. When lockdown started, I was like, right, I'm going to get it. I'd seen an ad where you could pay £15 a month to have Masterclass. I was like, okay, I'll get it for 1 month and try it and really enjoy it. So I did it, thinking that there'd be an option to do monthly direct debit and cancel whenever. But I put my card details in.
Oh, no.
And it took £170 at my account.
It's a year thing.
And I couldn't cancel it. So that was that. And I've actually quite enjoyed it this year, but I'm not going to go into another endorsement. But I think Masterclass are very good.
Whose Masterclass did you enjoy, Toby?
I did watch Gordon Ramsay's Masterclass from start to finish.
I knew it.
Excellent Masterclass. I also watched...
Oh, great. I'm glad you said that, because now we can put Gordon Ramsay back in the title again and get more viewers.
Another one. Do you know what? That's so funny. When we published Friday's podcast, I was like, people are going to think we got Gordon Ramsay. No one did. So that's fine.
No one thought that. Dom and Toby have got their mate Gordon on.
I did listen to Annie Leibovich's podcast, though.
Do you mean
Which
Masterclass?
is very good. Do you know who she is?
Masterclass or podcast?
Masterclass.
Is she the
Yeah.
She the photographer?
World famous photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very good photographer. Does portraiture. An outstanding photographer, actually. Very inspirational. You go on her Instagram, she just posts up pretty much on every celebrity's birthday. She's pretty much photographed everyone. So she'll just see happy birthday Channing Tatum, happy birthday Barack Obama.
Oh, flex.
And they're all amazing pictures. And she's done everything. Fair play to her. I also listened to Anna Winter, editor-in-chief of Vogue Global.
Yeah.
Her masterclass was very good. I enjoyed that. Just a moment as well for the women in our life. I was saying to my agent the other day, all of the best people in the creative industry I have found have been women. They're incredible. Can we just acknowledge that?
Yep. Acknowledged.
That was too much of a delay, bro.
I don't work that closely with many women.
Do you not?
No, I don't think I do, actually. Not intentionally. Love women.
A lot of your kind of art directors and commissioning people, men.
Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah, I think so. Which probably says...
Don't get me wrong.
That says a lot.
I've got some great art directors that I've worked with who are chaps who are very good.
We can title this one Sexism, Gordon Ramsay and Squarespace.
Squarespace. No, man. I mean,
can I just say
a lady?
what really makes...
She's great.
Oh.
Go on. No, it's fine, Dom. Really.
What really?
Please, what were you going to say,
what
mate?
keeps making
No,
me
really. It's fine. Yeah?
what keeps making me laugh is is the image of you signing up to masterclass and thinking it's for 1 month.
And what?
And thinking it's just for 1 month.
I was so gutted. The worst thing was
And then
Sophia was
dropping
sitting next to me.
£170 and just going, oh.
The worst thing was Sophia was sitting next to me. We were in the lounge. And my phone just pings up.
I'm
American
crying.
Express, masterclass, £170. And she was like, what? She's like, what are you doing right now? I was like, babe, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. She was like, cancel it. So I tried to cancel it, and masterclass was like, you can't.
I don't know why that
was like,
tickled me so much. That just the thought of you just kind of like just click. Oh, there's a lot of money.
A cup of tea. Anyway, it was a joyful mistake because it was annoying, and I didn't have the money to be spending money on masterclass at the time, and I've been like, I've just sucked it up and enjoyed it because it's a mistake which isn't really a bad mistake in terms of what I've bought. So I enjoyed. I'm gonna stop talking about this. Now. This is tragic.
It's not that funny. It's kind of sad, but it's also brilliant. Anyway, you were talking about women.
I was talking about women. I was picking up the ladies in my life.
Not a bad thing.
No, I am serious though. I was saying like, Eleanor, if you're listening, you're a legend. Eleanor, my agent, her whole team are incredible group of women. And, I feel like some of the best art direction I've ever had as a photographer from clients and agencies have been under highly organized, skilled, and detail-orientated ladies, and I've always really appreciated it. But, I've worked with, of course, worked with great guys as well. But I'm just thankful. Do you know what I mean? I'm thankful for women because of their detail that they see. Great people. I don't know where I was going with that.
It really felt you were gonna land somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know why I went into that. Maybe we should cut that out.
No cutting out. Sorry.
No cutting the honouring bits out.
Honouring? Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But
mate,
yeah,
what are you watching at the moment on the old Netflix? Give us some recommendations.
Netflix. I started watching last night. Let me pull it up really quick. A new Netflix.
Should we watch an episode now? Should we do a reaction podcast?
Just trash. It was called Bling Empire.
I've never heard of it.
It came out yesterday. And have you watched Selling Sunset?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
we could do a
great
whole episode on that. I've got a lot to say about that.
I do too. Great series. It's basically Selling Sunset, but it's basically a group of Asians in LA about kind of Asian culture, but they're all billionaires and they just live this crazy life, and it basically follows them around. It's basically like a drama. It's very much Selling Sunset in a different context.
Done. I'm sold.
I mean, it was trashy TV, but it was quite entertaining, if I'm honest. I had a good laugh watching that last night. What else have I been watching? I started watching the one that's been based in Bath called Bridgerton.
Is it based in Bath?
Yeah, there's loads of... The opening scenes are Bath, dude.
Oh, I'm watching that. The thing is...
I watched an episode and got bored, so it wasn't really for me.
No.
But my sister-in-law loves it.
This is it, right? It keeps being advertised on our Netflix, and today, before this podcast, we're watching MasterChef. It's an addiction. I'm honest. But
I love that.
It comes up, and I'm just like, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching it. Stop showing me it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I think.
Stop it. Enough.
Away. However, I retract that, and now I'm going to watch it.
You should watch an episode with Martha and see what you think.
So the first episode's got Bath in it, is it?
It's got Bath in it, and it's got a lot of sex in it.
Oh, I'm in.
In, as Gordon would say.
In.
Now. Anyway.
Bridgerton.
Yeah, it wasn't really for me. I didn't really enjoy it that much, so I'm not continuing to watch it. But I have been watching Formula One Drive to Survive.
Oh, very good.
Again.
Very good.
Because I like it. I'm a big F1 person, so I just wanted to watch it again because I was getting a bit bored. Yeah, man. What about you, bruv? What have you been watching?
Oh, MasterChef. We
That's such like a daytime TV program. I'm quite curious as to why you guys have suddenly picked it up as like, oh, we love it.
It's an all day thing. It's like an all day breakfast bap.
It's an all day thing.
It's fantastic. It's
wonderful.
It's got all the elements. The only problem is Martha and I have an early dinner. Judge us if you will. We eat roughly around 6 p.m. And in fact, what time is it now?
That is quite early.
So dinner's in about 4.5 hours. No, 4.5 hours?
3.5.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Maths.
This is why we don't do our taxes very well.
yeah. But then you eat dinner at 6. You're done at 7-ish.
That's true.
After washing up. And then you dive into a couple of episodes of MasterChef. Now, by 10 o'clock...
Dive in.
I'm hungry because there's some good food there.
How do you fix that?
I eat.
Eat. What do you eat?
Toast with cream cheese.
Oh, life of leisure dooring over here. That sounds nice.
Philadelphia, if you will.
Bit of Philly.
A bit of Lurpak and a bit of Philly.
A bit of smoked salmon. No big deal.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? No, I don't know. I just go fillet a bit of trout and no. And then
Get a bit of caviar out.
the other thing we're watching at the moment, US Office. Have you seen it, Toby? You've not, have you? I know you haven't.
I've watched bits of it and thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh, you
I
have?
haven't watched it start to finish.
I think it's just come back onto Netflix. I think this might be your time.
Did it go off Netflix?
Oh, you see, you're definitely not a fan if you say that. Yes, it did.
Interesting. Very good. Okay. Might try that out.
If you would, that would be good, because then I'll have something else to talk to you about other than cameras and taxes.
Bro, did you actually see the new Justin Bieber video?
I did. Yeah, mate. What's it? Which one? The one where he's in the boxing ring?
Anyone.
Bro.
Yeah.
That video.
Can we just take a moment for how well that has been done?
Wait, what's it called? Hang on, I'm trying to find it. Oh, anyone.
Yeah, anyone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Who's the director of that? Can you pull it up quick?
Right,
It's someone Tilly. Something Tilly.
It is Colin Tilley.
Colin Tilley. You, sir, are a very talented man. That's an excellent music video.
DOP is Elias Talbot.
Talbot.
Sounds like
Chaps, good job.
That's a sick video.
Very,
man.
very good.
It's very nicely shot. I have a couple of concerns, just as we kind of wrap up here today. Justin Bieber's kind of kissing someone that isn't his wife at the end.
As well, it didn't seem very necessary either. I mean, he did the whole video without it.
It wasn't.
And then right at the end, they're having a good old tongue.
This is it, right? The whole video, they're together, and you're sold on it. You're like, oh, God, they love each other. They absolutely love each other. And then, right as the credits are rolling, or the end of the video, the song's finished.
They have a fat snog.
They have a snog. You should watch it just for that.
I've always wondered that. Like, whenever we watch movies, she's been like, if you're an actor, would you find that really hard? And I was like, yeah, I don't know where I'd stand on that. Like, what, kissing other people? I guess you'd like, it's professional, and you just get on with it.
Yeah, I think. But
I don't know, man.
Having a kiss is nice, though, isn't it? So,
yeah, just get on with it.
I don't know. I'm sure they enjoyed it.
I'm sure they did. Maybe they've just got really great communication and boundaries. Who knows?
I think they do. And I think that's the moral of this podcast. Have great boundaries and kiss whoever you like.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
That's an Alistair Green reference.
There you go. And you'll find out when you watch the video of him talking about me. It's a self-indulgent thing. It has to be said, but...
Brilliant. Well, mate, I think that should probably conclude today's podcast.
It should. I feel like I'm going away not really knowing what we covered, but feeling content.
I think it was a good chat. Let's hope. I mean, we are just doing these because we think it's fun and it's a nice thing to do during lockdown. If people are enjoying them, we might continue doing them.
For sure.
Let's just see how it goes, man. I think a good chat about taxes is always helpful. Maybe a bit dry.
Yeah.
Touched on Squarespace.
We'll touch on
Business
Squarespace
practice.
again. It's very encouraging seeing messages from people. Like, thanks a lot for reaching out and just letting us know that you're listening and that you're enjoying it. And it's great to hear that people are actually listening to this and finding use in it. And I mean, to be honest, half of the fun is just chatting rubbish with Toby. But hopefully there's some little nuggets in there that inspire or spark a little idea or a thought.
Sparkle. Fantastic.
Sparkle and shine. Live life. Live, laugh, love. Live without regret.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
About
I don't know. You can't respond, I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
Do you think we should get some guests on?
Oh, we should. Who should we get on,
We should get a guest on. I don't know who we should get on, though.
I'll reach out to Gordon.
Reach out to his management.
Do you imagine?
Gordon, hi. Dom.
The editor-in-chief of Squarespace.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Thank you if you made it this far, well done. You got through all of the little bits and bobs towards the middles and the ends. You want to find us on Instagram, it's @_Toby Mitchell, or for Dom, it's @Dominic_During.
Come on.
And connect with us there. Please do send us feedback. We're wanting to grow this podcast in the respect of just making good quality content. And I think, if there's anything that you think would be fun to discuss, just drop us a line, drop us an email. Our links are in our bios and Instagram. I think it'd be good. We can keep having good chats, maybe bring on a couple of guests, have a chin wag.
Yeah, and join us next week when I rip into Toby's entire portfolio.
We do portfolio critique.
We should no.
Wow, what were you thinking? Your exposure's all over the place. Oh, no, I did it for effect, actually. Enough of that.
No, you didn't.
I did, actually. No, you didn't.
It's like a roast. Portfolio roast.
Oh, anyway.
Guys,
all right.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Much love, mate. Good to chat.
I love you, Toby.
Have a good week, everyone.
Love you.